It is very clear that Africa is the most resource-abundant and fastest-growing continent of the world. Every country in Africa has something to boast about as a factor of economic and socio-cultural development. For this reason, some of its countries have grown rapidly with increasing numbers of high-net-worth individuals, businesses, and expertise in various domains that have made them very wealthy today. Africa's total investable wealth currently stands at $2.4 trillion, and its millionaire population is expected to rise by 42% over the next 10 years, according to the latest 2023 Africa Wealth Report, published by Henley and Partners in collaboration with the New World Wealth. When we talk about wealth, some countries in Africa are richer than others, looking at their gross domestic product. GDP is an instrument used to measure all of a country's output, as well as its wealth status. It is a vital indicator of a country's ability to provide its citizens with comfortable and fascinating standards of living. Most eastern and southernmost countries of Africa have experienced significant economic growth over the past few decades, driven by factors you won't want to miss out as you watch this video. Which are the top 10 wealthiest countries in Africa? How wealthy are they, and how do they go about it? Take your time, sit comfortably, and watch this video till the end. Let us begin from the 10th position. Tanzania. Tanzania is an East African country known for its vast wilderness areas and rich economy. The economy of Tanzania depends mostly on agriculture and has been transforming from a local to an advanced market over the years. The Africa Wealth Report of 2023 indicates that Tanzania has about 2,400 high net worth individuals worth over $1 million. The total wealth of Tanzania currently stands at $75 billion. Most of Tanzania's wealthiest people reside in Dar es Salaam, the commercial capital, which is also a beautiful place for touristic activity in the country. Poor people living in rural areas in Tanzania have at least accumulated other kinds of improvements to their standards of living, thanks to factors such as education, increased land ownership, better infrastructure such as roads and local markets. 9. Ghana. Ghana is considered to be among the least developed countries in the world, but however, it is rated as one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. Ghana has a market-based economy with relatively few policy barriers to trade and investment as compared to other countries in the region, and is also endowed with many natural resources, such as diamond and gold. The total wealth held in Ghana currently stands at about $82.26 billion, and there are over 2,600 millionaires and 5 multimillionaires living there as of 2023. Ghana's top exports that contribute greatly to its wealth include cocoa, gold, and oil. The country's major export markets include China, Switzerland, India, South Africa, the Netherlands, and the United Arab Emirates. Many Ghanaians have strong personal and business ties with the United States and a strong affinity for American brands and technology. In fact, Ghana is the third largest U.S. export market for goods in sub-Saharan Africa, after Nigeria and South Africa. 8. Ethiopia. Ethiopia is ranked as one of the wealthiest countries in Africa in 2023, with a total wealth amounting to over $90 billion. According to estimates from the World Bank and other big financial institutions, Ethiopia, since the year 2000, has been engaged into nearly 150 projects to enhance development. Most of these projects have been successfully realized, thanks to fruitful collaboration with foreign partners. The richest person in Ethiopia is Mohammed Al-Amoudi, a businessman who carries out his activities both in his home country and Saudi Arabia. He is worth $420 million this year. There are many high net worth individuals living in Ethiopia, and the number keeps rising gradually as time goes by. It is important to note that Ethiopia's economy decelerated to 5.6% growth in 2021 from 6.1% in 2020 due to civil conflicts and the effects of COVID-19 on transport and hospitality. Notwithstanding, trade still counts as Ethiopia's major source of income, with coffee being the primary foreign exchange earner. Other exported products include live animals, hides and skins, oilseeds, and gold. 7. Mauritius. Mauritius is an Indian island nation, known for its beautiful lagoons, beaches, reefs, and mountains. This country is located in East Africa and has a population of about 1.3 million inhabitants. Mauritius got its independence in 1968, and since then, her economy has witnessed a remarkable transformation from a low-income, agriculturally based economy to a diversified upper-middle-income economy with growing industrial, financial, and tourism sectors. The Mauritian population contains some 4,900 millionaires and 10 multi-millionaires as of 2023. Total wealth in Mauritius this year stands at $200.7 billion. According to Henley and Partners, Mauritius is expected to experience the highest wealth growth rate at 75% over the next decade in terms of projections. This will make it the fourth fastest growing country in the world over this period, in millionaire growth percentage terms after Vietnam, India, and New Zealand. 6. Algeria. Algeria's total wealth is currently estimated at $206 billion, making it one of the richest African nations this year. The country's economy is dominated by its export trade in petroleum and natural gas, commodities that, despite fluctuations in world prices, annually contribute more than half of the country's GDP. You may also want to know that Algeria has the world's 16th largest oil reserves and the 9th largest reserves of natural gas. Sonatrach is the Algerian national oil company listed amongst the largest in Africa and supplies large amounts of natural gas to Europe. Algeria currently has about 2,800 millionaires, 8 multi-millionaires, and 1 billionaire. Another reason why Algeria is so wealthy and developed is its dense road transport network, which facilitates movement of human capital from neighboring countries like Tunisia and Morocco. Now let's get to the 5 wealthiest countries in Africa, often referred to as the Big Five, still from the bottom of the list. 5. Morocco. Morocco's ranking has permitted it to enter the Big Five wealth market in Africa, which accounts for 56% of Africa's high net worth individuals and over 9% of the continent's billionaires. Today, Morocco's total wealth is estimated at $238 billion. Morocco is home to 4 billionaires, 28 multi-millionaires, and about 5,800 millionaires. They are actually pretty rich, even though it doesn't show that on its GDP, but there are people in this country that have more money than you think. Among the assets that Morocco possess, the luxury industry occupies a significant portion, and this has made the country to be ranked as one of the top luxury markets on the continent. Analysts and industry experts maintain that Morocco has several improvements to realize in its bureaucracy and technology in order to make the country more appealing to investors and entrepreneurs. 4. Kenya. According to this year's Africa Wealth Report, Kenya is one of Africa's richest countries, with a protruding total wealth of $240 billion. Kenya's dollar millionaires, people whose net worth is at least $1 million, is about 7,900 persons, although the number slightly dropped, looking at the previous year's statistics. Most researchers find it hard to identify a Kenya-based billionaire. The few billion-dollar fortunes in the country are spread out among several family members, making it challenging to single out standalone ultra-rich individuals. Kenya is a middle-income nation in East Africa that has plans to become a newly industrialized one by 2030. Major industries that contribute greatly to the country's wealth include agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining, manufacturing, tourism, energy, and financial services. 3. Nigeria. Nigeria is listed amongst the richest countries in Africa, probably because of its human potential, abundance of natural resources, and GDP and purchasing power parity worth billions of dollars. There are 4 billionaires in Nigeria, including the richest man in Africa, Aliko Dangote, who has a whopping net worth of over $14 billion, culled from his cement and other businesses. Nigeria is home to 9,800 millionaires and 27 multi-millionaires. The country's total wealth is estimated at $300 billion this year. It is worth noting that most of Nigeria's economic advancement is concentrated in the south, while the center and north follow suit. Majority of economic activities occur in the coastal zone, particularly around Lagos, a booming economic hub and wealth generator for Nigeria. Despite a per capita GDP far below pre-independent levels, Nigeria remains Africa's most populous and main oil producer. 2. Egypt. Egypt is the leading economic force in Africa in terms of GDP per capita and the second richest country on the continent. Egypt's total wealth is estimated at $411 billion, and its economy relies mainly on agriculture, media, petroleum imports, natural gas, and tourism. The Egyptian information and communication sector has been growing significantly since it was separated from the transport sector, and it is yielding positive outcomes. The investment market in Egypt is one of the most developed in Africa, with more than 633 listed companies, and the government is still making more efforts to attract foreign investors to the country. 1. South Africa. South Africa is the most industrialized and technologically sophisticated nation on the African continent. It features a two-speed economy, with one sector on par with industrialized nations and another in severe need of basic infrastructures.